Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hot Takes podcast. I'm Nick, joined today by Christian, and making his grand return after missing an episode is Michael. So, today we are going to be discussing the Marvel movies with Fantastic Four just recently having come out. We're going to be doing this, as you can see if you're watching this episode, a tier list of all of them. This is 37 movies, and yeah, it's quite a bit. They've really been pumping them out. So with that, we're just gonna jump right into this, I think, with Iron Man, the first one, kicking it off in 2008.
So did you guys see Iron Man?
Yeah.
Yes, Christian, I've seen Iron Man. Have you not?
We gotta set that up because not everyone's seen every movie.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen all of them. We're just gonna get that out of the way. You know, if you haven't seen one, you can chime in with that.
Yes,
I mean,
have seen Iron Man. It is probably one of my favorite movies from when I was a kid. Kid is weird because how old were we in 2008? I don't know.
Around 10 years
old.
old.
I was younger. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think 10 years old is a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a kid.
Well,
I was thinking
like
teenage, but not quite yet because you're only 10.
So. Yeah, I mean, I know I didn't see this in 2008, or at least I'm pretty sure I didn't. I think I saw it closer to when the Avengers was announced. So I think I saw it in 2010 or 2011 then, because Avengers is 2012. I remember my dad bringing home a DVD, being like, "We're gonna watch this," and I'm like, "Okay." And yeah, I really liked it. It's really interesting. So I recently rewatched all the movies. I watched leading up to this episode when we decided we are going to do it, all of them, including any of the ones I'd missed. And it's really interesting just how Iron Man is so much more grounded in reality. Obviously, there's still plenty of elements that are out there, mainly the arc reactor and the Iron Man suit. But they're in Afghanistan. There's all of these kind of more real world elements that even going into the next movie I feel like you're kind of removed from that a bit more. So yeah, it's really interesting just comparing it to what comes later. Just
it was
the feeling.
Start.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. I also think and we'll talk a little bit about this when we get to Thor, is it was that era where they were trying to explain magic as science. And so there was a lot more, as Nick said, realism. And Iron Man was, and also when we get to Iron Man 2, were very realistic movies with real world billionaires in them at times to try to make it feel more realistic. And I actually really enjoyed that. And from Iron Man 1, I really like Obadiah Stane because he feels like a real, that could just be a bad guy in reality. A person, a business leader that is playing both sides evilly is something we deal with in reality all the time. And I really enjoyed that.
Do you think some people have since taken inspiration from Obadiah Stane?
Absolutely. There are people that definitely cosplay as him in war panel meetings.
People are like, I want to be that guy. That guy that died at the end of the movie. That's me.
Yeah. So tier wise, for me this is an A, very easily. It's not at the,
choice,
yeah, it's not at the very top, but A for sure.
Yeah,
strong start.
I agree. I think the only way you put it in S is if you've only seen the original movies. Otherwise, it's an A.
Yeah. All right. Well,
now to the real juicy movie.
Yeah, the real. This is the Incredible Hulk, the second Hulk movie in 5 years.
I have not seen the Incredible Hulk. I watched a little bit of it on TMZ or Fox or something when I was probably 11, I guess. And I then got really confused when Avengers came out and they recasted him.
Yeah, that was a little confusing, but also,
watching these, so Hulk comes out a month after Iron Man. and it looks so much worse. I realize, there's a certain budget. It's also 2008. CG technology isn't what we have today,
That
but
was
it
not a very
looks
different job.
so much older than Iron
making
Man.
a guy in a suit. Making a guy in the suit is a little bit easier than making
Well, so-
a big roided out green monster.
Yeah, no, I understand. There's more CG work to be done and probably a similar budget and all that, but it just looks so much worse.
I'll also play a bit of devil's advocate on 2008 CG. I mean, we did get Davy Jones from Pirates of the Caribbean, which people are still like, we can't top that. And that
is
was like,
true.
what, 2006? That was like,
We also
They
had.
didn't have pirates money.
pirate money does go hard, actually.
I mean, it is worth noting that like Marvel not doing financially well here in the early era. Like at this point,
That's
they've
true.
sold
Iron
off.
Man did kind of save them.
Yeah, they've
And it had only
sold
been a
off
month.
the rights to a lot of properties. That's why we had we still have like the Spider-Man issue pop up every now and then. We had like a bunch of stuff
X-Men.
over at Fox. Yeah, Marvel is not doing financially well. This is like kind of their Hail Mary, like last attempt at doing something besides comics and making money. So anyways, the actual movie Hulk it's not very good. It's
It's
just
not like terrible. It's not insultingly bad. It's a movie, but it's nowhere near as good as Iron Man.
it's not, and I also feel because of the recast, they did kind of, well, we'll get to it later, they kind of brought back elements from this movie in more recent entries. For a while, they basically kind of couldn't acknowledge this because Universal had the rights. That all got resolved 2020, something like that, 2021. Anyways,
Yep. Bringing back stuff from this movie was a weird choice.
yeah, because for such a long time, it essentially didn't exist within the context of the MCU.
Yeah.
It's why I want to put it in F tier.
No, I'll defend this movie from the dregs just because it wasn't that bad of a movie. It's still semi-enjoyable to watch. It's not like you want to shoot yourself while you're watching it the whole time. So I'll defend it from the dregs. But going back to it at all, is a weird choice. It was a weird choice. I was like, we'll get to that later, but it's like
Yeah.
So a bit of context too. They also went back to it quite a few times in, we're not talking about TV shows here, but in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I feel like that went over everybody's head because,
They
again,
did?
no one watched this. Yes, so General Talbot is a main character in Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for like 4 seasons.
Talbot is this. Yeah, Talbot
No,
isn't.
I know, but he's appointed by the guy who is the general in the Hulk movie.
Well, that's just a general
big
no,
Marvel character.
yeah, he's a big Marvel
No,
character.
I know, but they make reference to that a lot.
Yeah,
And I
but
feel like
that's
no one knows
just
who
that's
these people are.
that's just the TV shows acknowledge the MCU, but not the other way around. I don't feel like that
True,
is points for this movie.
That one's not as big.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's points. I'm saying it's weird.
Yeah, it is fair. The acknowledging Ross existing is he's just such an important character in the Marvel universe. So
I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. also gives you an explanation for events in Age of Ultron with the helicarrier returning, which isn't
True.
acknowledged by the movies. The movies, it just shows up. They don't say really anything specific about it.
well, it worked for me since I did not watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. So that's very much the TV shows until we get to Phase 4 are very separate from the MCU, regardless of how canon they may or may not be. Anyways, Michael, Michael, I know you haven't seen it, but do you want to put this in D or F? Because for me, it's still.
For me, it's gotta go F.
All right,
What are we doing if we put it in
force
D?
it into D? Well, yeah, no, there's so many worse movies. You guys are joking. Yeah,
No,
you've
no,
seen
but
this-
I'm also thinking about within the context of just the MCU. I think that is an F tier.
no,
I mean,
I'm
what-
saying there's worse. There's whole tier lower movies within the MCU.
Oh, okay. Well, we can always reorder, but for now we'll put it there.
Fine. I'm protesting now. No, know that I'm protesting. You will not hear the end of this from me.
This was the last time we heard Christian speak about the Hulk.
It could be. There's a lot of movies out there, man. I might forget it.
All right. Well, with the Hulk, we also kick off. It's like the week of a bunch of different. It has like an official name in the MCU. It's like a week of where like everything happens. So Hulk, Iron Man 2, and 4 all take place within the same span of 7 days. So now we move on to the second movie.
I never knew that.
Yeah, no, they actually do.
Like right
they
around the same time. I didn't realize that.
They are all happening like within the same. I think it's a week. Maybe it's like a little long.
I knew Iron Man 2 and Thor did because Coulson leaves.
Yeah. Coulson leaves to go to New Mexico. But yeah, this is also happening at that time. So we move on to Iron Man 2. With this, we have the recasting of Rhodey. And just saying like, hey, I'm here, deal with it. The classic line that they'll use again in other recastings. I think it's actually only one time where they do something similar. But anyways, Robert Downey Jr. back for his second run as Iron Man here. He's dealing with palladium poisoning and also that someone else has an arc reactor. And yeah.
What'd you guys think of Iron Man 2?
So I'm gonna reveal my hand a little bit. I think it is not a very good movie, but I think it is the best Robert Downey Jr. is in any of his solo movies.
Really?
For the MCU. Like, of the three, I think he has the most depth in this movie.
Okay,
But I think it is the worst Iron Man movie.
What about
So,
this is confusing to me, Michael.
where would you place it with that?
So
with that, I think it's like C. I don't think it's like as bad as people say it is. Like, people hate this movie.
Why? Give me. I need your reasoning, Michael.
So my reasoning here is the plot's kind of meh. The villain is meh, and the only like cool like action sequence is like the race track one. Like where he gets attacked during the F1 race. The fight at the end is kind of boring compared to Obadiah Stane's fight. Like, it's just a worse fight.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he does just, with that fight, he has just, like, a laser that takes out, like, 90% of the enemies. Yeah. The final fight is worse than the F1 track fight. I'll agree there.
Yeah, right. And so, like, and my thought is, because the plot's not very great, the villain's not very great, the secondary villain of what's-his-face, the tech guy, isn't very great either. It's just not a very good movie. But I really like the idea of Tony is met with a problem that for once he can't solve, and he needs someone else's help to do it. And I really like that because it really expands upon the idea of he is a genius, but that doesn't mean that he knows everything. And it kind of gives you more insight into the character. He needs his dad's help to save him from the palladium poisoning. And I really enjoyed that. Whereas I think, and we'll get to it in Iron Man 3, I think the character building he had in Iron Man 3 is kind of like obvious. Yes, he is stressed because of events of previous movies, and it's not as interesting to me.
We're going to have to talk about that when we get to Iron Man 3. I still put Iron Man 2. I actually put this in an A tier as well. I really like coming back to this movie. But I'm willing to compromise on a B.
Hate this movie.
I know people hate this movie.
You look at you. I was so fixated on Michael's interesting opinion that I almost missed you, Nick. I almost missed you. What the fuck are you talking about?
Just tried to sneak that in there and fly under Christian's radar.
You won't let me compromise on Hulk, but you're like, I'll compromise on B for Iron Man 2.
Yeah, because I know. C tier, okay. Mm-hmm. I'm willing. If you're both putting it in C tier,
would put it D or F, and I don't think it's that bad. I think it's just.
I definitely wouldn't put it D or F. Yeah.
I think a lot of people would because it's so much worse than Iron Man 1, but that's just not fair. The sequel's always going to be worse. There are very few exceptions to that.
Well, now we come around to the first four movies.
Not exceptions.
We'll get there, Kristen. We'll get there.
So I have to say, rewatching these, there's a So a complaint that gets made about these is kind of, the way they speak, kind of like evoking like Shakespeare, trying to be that kind of like dramatic feeling. And honestly, I feel. No, just like specifically the way they're talking. Like a lot of it's not quite fully leaning into fantasy, but it is trying to evoke that
Isn't
a
that
little
just
bit.
how movies are, though? Like, what movies like people talk normally? Like,
No, but I mean specifically the way they talk is
like
meant
In
to.
the oldie English, but they're
Yeah.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
in Thor specific? I forgot what movie.
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
talking
No,
about,
so
It's been 5 seconds. How did you
sorry.
forget?
It's wearing on me. I keep looking at these pictures of all of the movies lined up, and it's just mentally
yeah.
exhausting just looking at them.
Well, once we get them placed, I mean, there will still be the same amount of pictures, but they'll be distributed.
Exactly, and then order will be restored.
They'll be distributed in a
Mine-
perfect parabola because we have good opinions here.
But
All my favorite movies will be in B tier.
I feel it's something that is missing from later movies that could have used it. I'm mainly thinking Love and Thunder could have used a bit more of this like dramatic, serious Shakespearean tone compared to what we got. But we'll talk about that more later. But yeah, overall, I still don't love this movie. I think revisiting it, I liked it more than when I first saw it, but I kept moving this one around. Where did I actually place it? I put this one in C in the end.
Nick came so much more prepared to this than we did.
Again, yeah.
I made a tier list.
I watched 23 movies in 11 days. That's the Infinity Saga, and then I watched the rest over like 20 days. So.
All I'm saying here is we have to completely discount Nick's opinions now. He wanted to put Iron Man 2 in A and Thor in C. What are we doing here?
Where do you want to put it?
I think I have a generally hot take here that Thor is the second best of the early movies.
That is...
What's the best? Iron Man?
We'll get there. I'm excluding Avengers, by the way. I'm excluding.
Okay,
Avengers.
you're excluding it. You're excluding. We're in phase one.
To me,
6 movies.
That's when the early movies ends. Is Avengers.
Well, yes, because that's the end of phase 1.
Correct. So I'm saying I was trying not to use the terminology there, Nick. Yes, phase 1 movies. I think Thor is the second best
Excluding Avengers.
because that's not phase 1.
It is phase 1. It is the end of phase 1.
That's why I was trying to use a different terminology, Nick.
You're talking the pre-team up movies, I guess.
Pre-team up movies, sure.
Okay.
I think Thor is better than Iron Man 1.
Sorry.
No. I just had to, yeah, just no. Again, I moved this between B and C because I liked it more than I remembered it.
I would never put it in C tier like Nick. But I'm between A and B. I'm between A and B.
So I think
here's my reasoning. I think while Iron Man is great, I love Iron Man 1. The problem that it has, and this is not the movie's fault, is it was the first Marvel movie. And so there's a lot of rough edges just in what they were trying to do that I think they don't have in Thor. And I think the stories are comparable in enjoyment level. And that's why I like Thor a little bit better than Iron Man 1.
That's fair.
It's no fault to Iron Man 1. It's just the reality of being the first. There was some like rough edges in the filming and kind of the storytelling that they kind of ironed out by the time they got to Thor.
Ooh, ironed out. Nice. I see what you did there.
Thank you.
Genius, Michael. Yeah, just for that, I'll give it A tier.
Hell yeah.
But behind Iron Man.
I'm actually okay with that too. I think they're pretty interchangeable for me.
All right. Well, we'll go with majority opinion here and put it in A tier.
I mean, we went with majority opinion and dunked on Christian with the Hulk.
I know. I know. You know, we have to stick with it. I would not put it in A. I would put it in B, but no higher. Anyways, we'll go on to
We can fight about this later once they're all on the list, so we
Yeah.
can form the perfect parabola.
Captain America, the first one, the first Avenger. Yeah.
Oh,
I'll speak on this because I
big
tipped my
Cap
hand
fan,
about
S tier.
5 seconds ago. This is my favorite of the Phase 1 movies.
Oh yeah.
Or I guess the pre-team up. This is like, in my mind, this is the perfect like early Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
many people really, really like this one. So
To be honest, I'm
not
a big
surprised.
Captain America fan, so this is just, it's up there no matter what for me.
Yeah, I mean, I put this one in A tier. Did you put it in S tier?
I had it in S tier. I was also going to say, we'll talk about this a little bit later when we get to Fantastic Four, but I feel like this movie and Fantastic Four, which again, we'll talk about later, are two movies that invoke a certain type of emotion while watching because it feels like a comic book. And I don't think we get a lot of that throughout the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but those two movies really hit that on the head, and Captain America is also a great movie. I think it's an S tier.
Yeah, I agree with S tier.
All right.
It has like one flaw in that it wasn't 30 minutes longer, skipping a montage.
Wait,
Well-
30 minutes longer skipping a montage?
No. If it didn't have a montage and instead had like more actual movie, it was 30 minutes longer. It would've been
I
cool.
see.
Oh,
The
I see
whole
what you're saying.
montage. Yeah, okay. Yep. Replace that with actual like
Go watch
things. Got
Agent
it.
Carter. You'll like that then.
I don't watch TV shows, I guess. I made that up.
Well,
I was
we're
gonna say, that is just a
That's
lie.
just a lie.
we're finally at the end of phase 1 with what we've been kind of leading to.
Debatably.
Not debatably, it is. This is what we've been building to. You know, we've had all of these like post-credit scenes, like they're showing there's a connection. Here we finally are, the first Avengers movie, 2012. What do we think?
Do we even really need to talk about this one? I think we're all going to have the same opinion.
No? What do you think my
No?
opinion is, Michael? No, speak for me. Speak for me, Michael.
I mean, I think this is like, when you think of Marvel movies, this is probably the one that everybody thinks of for a reason. Right? Like everybody, when you say Marvel movies, people go, "Oh, the Avengers."
I mean,
yeah,
I do think that's fair, but I also don't put this in S tier, which sounds like where you're leaning.
Really?
I
Wow.
I don't know. To me, I'm just very selective, I think, on S tier. I think that's why. And it's like going back to this, I still really like it, but so while it is the first team up, it's also a little awkward because of that. When they're kind of like getting them all together, it feels less I guess intentional perhaps than I don't know. It doesn't actually feel like we've had this kind of lead in for all of them to come together in some ways. I don't know. It feels a little weird. Or I guess it feels very much like they're grabbing these people because that is the intent. That is what they're doing. Which I know. That's just like how a movie happens. I don't know.
Weren't they actually grabbing these people because they wanted to form a team?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
wasn't that the intent
I
expressed
think Nick
in the
is
movie?
complaining about the premise of the movie.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels a little weird coming out of the other movies. And perhaps,
I feel like the build-up was there. Like
Yeah.
I mean, were there anybody in the main Avengers squad that like hadn't at least made a brief appearance like before?
No, they had all
Yeah,
been around.
It's all of the appearances before this is purely post-credit scenes set up. So yeah,
I
don't
think
know.
I can
No,
hear
I
an
meant, like, the
argument
character.
for it's not as good as Captain America. I can hear that argument, and if that means A for the integrity of this list, I'm okay with that, but I think it's an S tier movie, personally.
I do think it's really good. I'd have trouble arguing against it. I can't see.
Okay. This is classic Christian antics. We're gonna go ahead and let him fix that and put it in S tier for him, since it sounds like you want it there.
I could agree with S tier. I mean, with A tier.
Okay.
To establish the parabola.
Okay. To establish
I think it is worse than Captain America. I personally think it is an S tier, but if the integrity of the list needs it to be an A, I think that's fine.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, it's a tier. I don't know.
I can see both sides of the argument here. I was thinking stuff along the lines of Nick originally, where it's like the movie as a movie, it shows some holes because they're trying to pull so much together and have a big team up and everything. But like it's just it's the Avengers. It's good. So
we can always revisit it.
Yeah.
Like I said, we gotta curve out the parabola.
Yeah, we still have now 31 movies to get through. We have plenty to talk about.
Yeah.
So, kicking off our next set of movies here, we have Iron Man 3. And I have to say, rewatching this, it was kind of timely because Ironheart was coming out and lots of people were talking about Iron Man 3 in the context of that.
Hold on a second.
Yep.
Did Iron Man 3 come out before Thor 2?
Yep.
Yes.
That's fucking crazy.
They had wrapped up the Iron Man arc by the time they basically kicked off the rest of the arcs.
Yeah. I mean, that's the benefit of being the first, is you also finish first, so.
And you make the most fucking money out of anyone ever.
Yeah. But Iron Man 3 was getting a lot of discussion because of Ironheart.
Ironheart. Sorry.
Ironheart is she's introduced in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. She had her own TV show come out in June.
I see.
Yeah, that was more properly about her.
Any details? Can I know, or not later?
Well, we can talk about it more. I mean, we can talk about it now too. It doesn't really matter because honestly, I don't know really why she is in Black Panther 2 as much as she is. But basically, she is a college-aged girl at MIT, really smart, builds her own Iron Man suit. But is like way down the line. I know that because of that show coming out, there was some discussion about Iron Man and specifically Iron Man 3. Lots of people seem to have had their opinion of this movie improve, and I have to agree. A lot of that really comes down to something we see also come back in Spider-Man Homecoming, and it's really just Tony Stark, even without the suit, is Iron Man. That is like the whole lesson to gain from, or that he gains from this. Like, he goes out and manages to stop the villain, do all of these other crazy things while he is down. Like, his house destroyed, his suit's at the bottom of the ocean, Pepper kidnapped. Like, he has no connections, he's presumed dead, and he still goes to a hardware store and just makes weapons to go, take down the final villain. So it's really just emphasizing that he isn't just the suit, he is something without it. And that, he's embraced kind of his, I guess, trying to do good for the world beyond, just blowing stuff up as Iron Man. I don't know. I really like this. I put it in B tier. I still recognize flaws in it, but originally, had I not rewatched this, I would have probably placed it lower. But I'm putting it in a B tier here.
So I actually had the opposite. I really liked this movie when it came out, and I recently rewatched all the Iron Man movies a couple weeks ago. And I actually thought this was not very good. And I was surprised by that because I remembered liking it. I do get what you're saying. I really like the gadget out of the garage kind of aspect of it. I thought that was a cool way to showcase that, hey, Tony Stark is Tony Stark. And I like the idea of have him deal with his consequences of his past being an asshole and all of that. I just thought the movie was a little disjointed. I think it's a little better than Iron Man 2 for sure. So I think B is fine, but I probably, like, if I hadn't rewatched it, probably would have said this was as good as Iron Man 1, and I don't think that anymore.
So we came at it from opposite directions to land in the same
And we
spot.
met in the middle.
Even funnier, even funnier is that I, having not seen this movie in when did it come out?
This would be 2013, I think.
Yeah, having not seen this movie in 12 years, have a really good opinion of it. Like Michael, I was like, man, I love this movie. This movie was like, this is my favorite Iron Man movie.
Are you saying we were dumb, stupid children?
I don't know. I believe Christians in the past because you got to trust yourself. But it's very funny. Maybe I have to go rewatch it to ruin my.
I mean, I do think the Iron Man trilogy is really, really strong. Like just those three movies together.
It's the best trilogy.
Yeah,
I think
it's the best trilogy in the series.
I'm excited to get to some movies where I've seen them more recently, so I can remember them better.
Well, in the meantime, we'll go on to the second Thor movie, The Dark World, which continues the kind of, it's the same director as the first one, so it continues kind of that dramatic Shakespearean tone. We have because we've already had the Tesseract, so it's not the first appearance of an Infinity Stone. I can't remember now if they actually call it out as an Infinity Stone in this one, though.
They do not. They decide that later.
Yeah, okay.
The ether was not supposed to be an Infinity Stone.
Oh, really? Honestly, that kind of makes sense. Given it's a liquid in this. Yeah. So whole thing is that there's these weird anomalies happening as the worlds align. Portals between the 9 realms, which the 9 realms are, because they explain everything is actually just like planets and stuff, is really weird. In like, just the 9 realms are just like planets. Why are there these weird alignments happening? It's a kind of trying to bring in this mythology.
I was going to say, you got to go study some Norse mythology.
Because
Norse mythology.
But it's also
Marvel's actually kidnapped an entire religion.
I know, but like Thor Ragnarok is like, oh yeah, they were just gonna, keep on doing their war thing and conquering places, but then, Odin decided not to do that. So it's like 9 for no like particular reason necessarily that's been explained, are then borrowing the mythology, but also then like, why is there this world alignment? Why are there portals between these 9 specific places?
Again, the realms align in Norse mythology. Like, that's a thing.
I get it. It's taking from the Norse mythology, but like, I don't know. The adoption.
I think you're mad about the wrong thing with this movie.
No, I'm mad about honor thing.
I think it's the wrong anger.
I am coming at this, yes, from a like, this is not the most important thing about what this movie is, but I just feel in the context of the MCU trying to make things scientific, this is just a weird thing. For me.
Well, I will say this was when they stopped doing that, was like shortly after this. This was like the first like dip of the toe into something more mystical.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they still go very science-y just because.
F-tier?
Yeah, F-tier, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we need to say anything more. Nick already talked way too much about this movie.
All right.
It's not a good movie.
We'll put it in F-tier and move on.
We don't need to speak on how bad it was. Everybody knows.
So the only thing that I will say is I remember watching this, and this was my first reckoning of like, hey, I'm not going to enjoy all of these movies, and that's okay. And I think that's important. Like, it gave me a reason to like critically look at these, because I was a little older when it came out than I was like when Iron Man 1 came out, and I could like be like, I enjoyed watching it once, and I never need to watch it again. It is not a good movie.
This was back in the day where I'm like, I enjoy superhero movies, so I'm going to watch this, and I don't care how good it is.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And then I could form an opinion and go, yeah, that was bad. I don't need to watch that again. Unless I'm watching all the Thor movies, because like I do that sometimes.
Well, we will now continue on to Captain America: The Winter Soldier, which I'm just gonna throw it out. Easy S tier for me. I love this movie.
Yeah. I'm glad we can agree with that. This is by far my
I
favorite
think
movie.
it might not be, in my opinion, I don't think it's better than Avengers, but I would have put Avengers in S tier anyways, so I am more than okay with that. I think this is a very solid movie.
Yeah,
I think
I have no
this is
complaints,
Captain
really.
America movie.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
my
yeah.
one complaint with this is the fact that it's a little preposterous that nobody saw Hydra coming. That is my only complaint with the movie.
It's hard to make that complaint.
They literally took Zola in. He was the second head of Hydra, and you literally take him in and have him build S.H.I.E.L.D. for you. What did you think was going to happen?
I don't know. That seems pretty realistic to me.
I mean,
It is super realistic. We literally did that like, in the U.S.
yeah. I mean, they were like Operation Paperclip. Yeah, that's why he's here.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
Right.
They used a real world event.
Just like you would think, like, for example, Peggy Carter would be smarter than that based on everything we know about her, and she was the first director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's just a random nitpick. I think this movie is amazing.
No, I am looking for something to nitpick. That is,
Yeah,
it
so
is a phenomenal movie.
Stop looking for it.
She's also not the first director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, she is.
No.
Oh, damn, Nick has the knowledge.
I'm pretty
All right,
sure.
tell us, Nick. Who is it? Who is it?
I mean, in the MCU, she is. I don't know about in the comics.
I'm pretty sure even in the MCU she isn't.
Well, who is it then? Tell me.
She's the
Oh, I don't know.
founded S.H.I.E.L.D.
You
She
fucking-
is one of the founders, but yeah, I don't think she.
No, she founded S.H.I.E.L.D. and is stated to be the first director of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay, I'll trust
And
you
like
on this
multiple
one.
times.
Oh my god.
All right.
Anyways, you still don't have the order right. I think this movie is better than the first Captain America movie.
Oh yeah, I
No,
guess.
I
So
disagree.
okay, so I just need to make a note here that I typically don't order within tier lists because I believe it defeats the point of tier lists. But if you want me to move it, I will.
I want to
Okay.
I also think that is the worst take I think Christian has ever had. I think Captain
What?
America: First
Yeah,
Avenger
that's okay.
absolutely dog waters all of the movies we've looked at so far.
No,
That is
no.
insane.
Dude, no. Look, I like the first Avenger too, but it is the novelty of modern Captain America movie being like a spy thriller kind of movie is so cool. It's just such a cool direction to take the character and how he interacts with it all. I can't get over. I like the movie a lot, but whatever. Well, maybe we can disagree and just leave it at the top of the list.
Yeah, I mean, I think like spy political thriller
Agree to
is
disagree, but go with what Christian said. Got it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's how you do it, you know?
spy political thriller. Great direction for Captain America. I'm gonna agree with Christian here that I like him more than the first Avenger.
All right. Moving on.
Guardians of the Galaxy. We're finally like going out into space in the MCU.
Dude, this is so early in the list, but in my mind, this one is like a later Marvel movie.
It does. I was kind of
Well, that's 'cause it
surprised.
doesn't-
I don't know.
I was gonna say, it doesn't really fit the timeline anywhere. You could put this basically anywhere before Infinity War, and it's
yeah,
fine.
it's completely like disconnected from like everything else. I forget what the post-credit scene in the scene is. I think it has like Howard the Duck. I think it's just like the collector's like base
It's the
being blown up.
collector,
Yeah. So, anyways, yeah, it's like completely disconnected. You could really throw this in anywhere. So yeah, I was kind of surprised how early this actually like pops up when I was rewatching. For me, it's I really like this one still. I'm gonna put it
This is
in
one of
A
my
tier.
favorite movies. I'm gonna be hard to sway outside of S, to be honest. This is
Oh,
one of
okay.
my favorite Marvel movies.
I could be convinced, but you will have to convince me.
I mean, because my thing is, this is the first. So I kind of touched on it with the first Avenger and Fantastic Four, where it felt like a comic movie, and like that's a feeling that you only really get in a handful of movies. This one comes unbelievably close to doing that because of how goofy it is. I think it doesn't quite have the same feel that, say, First Avenger and Fantastic Four do, but I actually think that's a good thing because they adapted a lot of the feeling of it to be a funny movie. Like, they made a great action movie that was also funny for the first time in the MCU.
Yeah,
And I
they
think
really
that is a
did nail
huge
the,
achievement.
like the absurdist comedy action movie kind of thing.
Right, and just like introducing Rocket Raccoon to like a younger audience is like spectacular in my opinion.
Mhm. You're convincing me. You're convincing me. Nick, what do you think? How much do you hate?
I don't really have much of an issue. It's really just like when I think S tier, it really has to like be fantastic, like just really out there.
Has to be Captain America.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something then, Nick.
Yep.
If Avengers is like for you towards the top of A tier, would you rather watch Guardians of the Galaxy or Avengers?
Ooh.
That's the question, right? Because I'd rather watch.
Well, again, I don't order within tier lists. Any
Sure,
order,
but
any.
we're talking about between two tiers.
Okay, in between two tiers.
Right.
I don't know. I'm leaning S because Guardians 1 is like a huge standout movie in the MCU.
It is very different. I would probably actually rewatch Guardians before I rewatch the Avengers if it was like that kind of choice. Like you're gonna rewatch one, which one are you picking?
Like
So,
you're gonna put one on for
person.
your party, whatever. You got some pizzas. What are you putting on? If it's
Okay.
Guardians, it's got to go S tier. If it's Avengers, then I agree, and it's A tier.
Okay.
Not Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching. Well, bringing it back down to Earth, we have the second Avengers movie, Age of Ultron.
I have a comment to make about this movie, by the way.
All right, make your comment.
Before we get started, I think
go
this
for it.
movie gets a lot of unnecessary hate. I'm not saying it's a good movie. It gets so much more hate than it deserves. People talk about this movie like it is the worst thing they've ever seen when
People
Thor:
talk
The
about
Dark
this
World
movie
is
like
right
it's
there.
Thor: Dark World. Yeah.
People talk about this movie like it is worse than Thor: The Dark World, and that is absurd to me.
That's crazy. That actually is insane. Apparently, I don't talk to enough people because I haven't heard that. But yeah.
Yeah,
that's a
I've
crazy
never
take.
heard that opinion either.
Go
I
on
have to
Reddit.
say-
Just go on Reddit.
I
That's
am
your
on
first
Reddit
mistake
too much.
Mistake number one.
Yeah.
Going on Reddit.
Yeah, Age of Ultron. I like this
I know where
one.
I'd put it.
Yeah. Where do you want to put it?
Where would you put it, Michael?
I think it's our first D tier.
Oh.
Oh.
I think it's our first D tier movie.
I thought you didn't think
I
it was
actually,
bad.
and I'm gonna hand on heart. There are moments of this movie that I think are spectacular. I think the whole movie as a whole is not good.
It has a plot problem.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think if you just want to see cool action scenes, this is one of the best ones for that. But in terms of like a story, and they kind of ruined Ultron, who's one of the like most badass villains in the series, and they made him kind of boring.
Yeah.
See, I don't know too much about like comic Ultron, so I know they kind of explore that in the What If series,
Marvel
just
Rivals
like.
Ultron, though, right?
Yeah.
How much of a pain in the ass he is. Just imagine
What a hot bastard he is there.
Yeah, I was gonna say C tier for this. I think there's a lot of moments in this that kind of like come back. There's kind of where they're like, that's the end game up there. Hey, name dropping years before. They, set up, this is kind of the movie where I know he is going to reappear, obviously, in Civil War and other things, but this is kind of setting up Tony for that, like, retirement life. He, at the end of this movie, he's like, maybe I'll get some of that life Hawkeye has or something like that. I forget exactly what he says, but he's basically, like, saying he's taking a step back from the whole Avengers deal with this. So it's kind of foundational in some ways to setting. I mean, obviously, it's an Avengers movie. They're always setting up, but I don't know.
That first scene where they were fighting in the forest was really cool.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the best scene in the movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
And if they, just fighting Hydra, exactly what we need more of in the first Avenger. Just move that over.
I'm seeing, you know what? I'm seeing a lot of parallels to what I said about Iron Man 2, where the first thing that happens is the best thing in the movie, and it's all downhill from there.
I mean, Iron Man 2 is in C tier, I'm saying C tier for this one for me.
I think we gotta
you can be the decider, C or D.
We really gotta come to a philosophical conclusion on what is C tier and what is D tier.
So I think that's a good point, because we didn't actually talk about this. I think C tier is like I would put it on, but I'm not gonna choose it. If somebody wants to watch it, I'll put it on. D tier is I would actively argue against watching it. I'd be like, there's something better for us to watch. And
F tier,
F tier is I saw it once and I never want to see it again. D tier has a chance of being seen again. F tier, I think, is
I would argue against it, but if you felt passionately that that's what we're watching, that's what we're watching. Right? But I would argue against it.
Yeah.
And that's why I think Hulk should be a D tier.
No.
Absolutely. I would argue against watching Age of Ultron. I would say, why should we watch that when we can just watch something like Civil War?
I mean,
that's my argument for D tier.
C tier it is.
All right, C tier it is.
I have spoken.
All right. Well, we now go on to, interestingly enough, Ant-Man. Only interesting because Ultron, in the comics, is a Hank Pym creation. And then they literally, the movie after Ultron is in, are like, oh yeah, by the way, Hank Pym exists. My big problem with this movie, and it's a complaint that many people have, is they explained how when objects change size, they still keep their mass. And then they proceed to ignore that for the entire movie, only using it when convenient. And I just really hate that so much. It bothers me.
You must have trouble with movies.
Yeah, he does have trouble.
No.
He watched 21 in 3 days or whatever.
It was 23 in 11 days. No, I mean, other than that, I like myself a good heist movie. So, it gets points for that. I just wish that they didn't actually try to explain the science. They just said, it's Pym particles, it's my own secret thing, you just use them. One makes things big, one makes things small. Leave it at that.
Similar to the Captain America movie, the Winter Soldier. I like it when they take the Marvel movies and the Marvel characters and they put it into an interesting framework of a different style of movie, like the heist movie, like you said. I think that's really cool. And maybe the most interesting thing they do with these characters in these movies. So I like this movie. It's not it does have its problems. With the science stuff. It's a little awkward. I'm not as caught up on it as you are, but I wouldn't. It definitely it knocks it down a little bit at least. So it's not up there in S tier, maybe not even A tier. But I do like this movie.
Oh yeah, no, I put this in B tier. I should mention that.
Yeah,
I still like
agree
this.
With that.
Yeah,
B tier is I'm good with B tier.
This is a classic B tier movie where I'm happy to watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, now we move on into Phase 3, which is the largest of them. So many movies.
Where does Phase 3 end?
Phase 3 ends with Spider-Man Far From Home.
That was not what I was expecting.
Yeah, it ends right here. We got a ways to go.
Oh. I thought Endgame was the beginning of Phase 4.
No.
I thought
Phase 4 starts with Black Widow. And we'll talk about Phase 4. I have comments just
movie?
on that.
What's that movie 2 to the left of Endgame? I assume is that Endgame?
No, that's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh.
Yeah. Before this, I want people to know that Michael learned that there are free Ant-Man movies when we were talking about making this episode.
I forgot Ant-Man and the Wasp was a thing, all right?
Yeah. Well, anyways.
Ant-Man and the Wasp was the thing, and I didn't know there was 3 Ant-Man movies.
Let's go on to Civil War, which is so I want to say
It's a Captain America movie. We know where it's going.
See, my problem is the fact it's a Captain America movie. Because it's like so many other characters appearing, and it doesn't really feel like it's Captain America centered almost.
I've heard that complaint a lot, but the whole story of the movie and most of the movie's content does feel very Captain America focused.
I mean, it is, I guess, like, it's all kind of driven around Bucky being accused and, Steve wanting to help him, and kind of that. So I can see it. I don't know, but it doesn't feel like for a, like, if this is the, Captain America trilogy, it doesn't feel like it is ending that trilogy either.
I feel like it comes in as a natural conclusion to like Captain America's storyline from Winter Soldier.
I'm 100% on board with Nick. I said earlier that Iron Man is my favorite of the original trilogy, and the reason I say that is because I don't count Civil War as a Captain America movie.
I honestly don't think of it as a Captain America movie, but I still don't think it's.
Oh, I'm not saying it's bad. I just don't consider it a Captain America movie, really. That's my big issue with this. Other than that, like
Avengers Civil War right there. Yes, no?
Yeah,
I think this is an S tier movie, and it is more of an Avengers movie than it is a Captain America movie.
I do agree. Arguing about what the pre-title is a little silly.
I mean, it is, in the context of, like, how are they advertising this to you? What is their intent?
Bro, you look at advertisements, what a loser.
I'm looking at the title. How are they advertising in the title? Okay.
So S tier?
I think it's just S tier. I think we just move on.
Okay.
It's by far like the coolest action movie.
Do you want to put it anywhere specific in this ranking?
Can you put it behind Guardians of the Galaxy, please? Okay. Actually, no, in front of Galaxy. We got to keep them together.
I was going to say, you got to put Captain America.
All right, well, now we step into...
Can we just rename that tier to the Captain America tier?
Captain America.
And then move Guardians out.
We can make an additional tier between S and A.
Leave that there. It doesn't need to actually be anything.
Just, if Captain America appears, in which case we need to move Dark World up there. So...
Oh, God, no.
Does Captain America appear in Thor Dark World?
Kind of. Loki disguises himself as Captain America. Yeah. So
what is probably the only good scene in that movie.
Yeah.
We now move more properly into the mystical with Doctor Strange. This was even described as by Feige as like expanding the Marvel universe to have magic like proper. Yeah. This got so many nominations and won quite a few awards for its visual effects, which is, having rewatched it, that is the main thing I still remember, just visually. Like, they did a lot. Cool. Yeah.
The scene where, like, the city is, like, all twisted up. Like,
yeah.
I love this movie, man. It's such a good movie.
I have this in A tier. I don't think it's S tier, but
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right.
I don't know what to say on it. Yeah, but it's good.
All right. Well, now
I can't tell what movie
it's Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
What happened in Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
There's the one. Dad. Yeah, he meets his dad. They fight the planet.
He becomes a planet for a while. There's a whole thing.
So C or D?
I wouldn't have. I had this in B for myself. I still like it.
I think I had it in B as well.
Here's my argument for C. It just doesn't.
I'm willing to hear an argument.
First movie. There's a lot of good scenes in it as well, but like I don't know, the fighting his dad as the planet was just not as fun. It lost a lot of the fun charm that the first movie had.
I can kind of see that the final fight doesn't have the same, impact as the first one. It's not. There's Yeah.
Wasn't Groot like a little baby for most
He
of
he
the
is
movie,
baby
too?
Groot in this one.
That,
Yeah.
that doesn't win any points for me.
It's
Oh,
really
come
funny because
on.
you're wearing an I Am Groot shirt right now.
Yeah.
um, I mean, let me see what else we have in BNC and like compare it. You know.
Are you actually going to tell me that this is, in your opinion, Christian, because you put Ultron in C? You're going to tell me this is in the same category as Age of Ultron?
I rescued Ultron from B tier. B is good. B is good.
Okay.
I do not think in any reality is Guardians 2 the same as Age of Ultron.
I feel like we're still having this is identifying a CD problem for our tiers.
Well, again, we can always reorder. Let's
We'll
just
resolve it later.
Yeah.
We'll smooth out the curve.
Also, the tier list is looking a little top heavy, but you got to remember we're getting up to the stinkers soon.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot it's because the MCU is a little top heavy.
Yeah, the MCU is very top heavy. We're like 4 movies away from the downward spiral.
The downward spiral into pure depression.
All right, we're
I'm
on
actually
to.
really looking forward to it getting worse, and I could like really lay into these and not just be like, yeah, that was a pretty good movie.
Well, Spider-Man Homecoming, real quick before we talk about the movie, I'm using the official poster here. There's another poster that often gets used that is
Wait,
good,
can
and
you-
this poster
can you
is so
send the
bad.
poster?
Let me do
can't just
this
bring
from
it
my
up and
phone just
Not
because
present it to us.
for anyone
I know what
listening,
he's
I'll
talking
put it
about.
in the
I don't know what he's talking about, Mike. I don't look at advertisements like a loser.
He's anti-advertisements.
So
Post it in the podcast materials chat.
yeah. I'm working on it.
You should post it in the to-dos chat.
So this is the official poster.
Mhm.
It's really bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. The more I look at this, I'm
You
just like,
usually,
what?
I'll be linking this in the show notes for our listeners to look at later. The
going on
poster
with
that
Iron Man up
often gets used is it's just like him in his Letterman jacket. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh.
Yeah, if you know what
Can
I'm,
we
I'll
also
find
just
it
talk
later.
No, pull that one
Let's
up.
just unpack the official movie poster, which makes it appear like it's an Iron Man movie.
Oh yeah, no, he's on there like 3 times. Is it? How about?
2 times.
He is on there. He is on there twice, and Spider-Man is only on there twice. So,
Well, this is something we can talk about just in general. Is a complaint of the Spider-Man Home trilogy is a lot of it is more about him dealing with Tony in some way than being like his own independent character, just because of how he was introduced into the MCU. He has just a big Iron Man Tony Stark connection, rather than being just Spider-Man.
I do think this is like the point in the MCU where like the whole interconnected MCU plan started to show some wear and like show some problems that are more apparent down the line, where they felt the need to have it connected because they brought it up in a team up movie, Captain America movie, of course.
I finally found the other
Of course.
poster, by the way.
Yeah, wait, this one's a lot. This
Yeah,
one's so
that.
good.
So I used the bad poster here just to remember that I wanted to talk about this.
This one is iconic. The other one is like poopy.
Yeah, the other one is really bad. If we were rating purely on the posters, this would be an F tier for me.
That's an F.
it's an F poster for sure.
Worse than Thor Dark World poster.
Yeah, no, actually.
Dark World's poster goes hard. The movie's just ass.
Yeah. Opposite problem, I mean,
You
so
see,
Spider-Man.
That's why you don't listen to advertisement.
All right,
All right.
let's get on to the rating of the Spider-Man movie.
For me, I have this one an A. I still really like this movie. I a lot of that is driven by Michael Keaton and kind of the entire reveal of, oh shit, I'm going to Homecoming, my date's dad is the Vulture. And just like from that reveal to when they're in the car, just like, yeah, that is like a big driver of me putting this so highly. But yeah, for me, it's an A tier movie.
I don't know. That doesn't win it for me. B tier. I do think it gets dragged down a lot by having to be related to everything else. Other than that,
I think I had it in B tier as well.
Yeah, it's fair. I mean, again, that is kind of a common complaint of just the Home trilogy in general. Is it's not street level Spider-Man. It is.
Is it called the Home trilogy?
And that's I think what most people, because they all have home in the title in some way. So it's Homecoming.
Why not call it the Spider-Man?
Well, because we're getting a new trilogy.
More movies.
Yeah, Spider-Man: Brand New Day comes out
Is that
roughly a
be
year
the
from.
Brand trilogy?
Maybe it'll be the new trilogy.
Oh.
Brand trilogy, new trilogy, day trilogy.
The Day trilogy was hard.
It'll probably honestly be the day trilogy.
Probably.
Probably.
That makes
and
sense.
Doomsday will be part of it, you know?
Yesterday. Oh, Doomsday.
He's not
Spider-Man
in Doomsday. We've been over this.
Yeah, he'll be in the post credits. Don't worry. I'm sure that
It's gonna be called Spider-Man Doomsday, and he's not gonna show up.
it would be really. Christian, do you know that the next Avengers movie is Avengers Doomsday?
No.
Okay.
Do I look like I do?
Well, yeah, you don't get advertised to.
Thing.
Advertisements don't work on this, man. You heard it here. All right.
Oblivious.
Well, yeah, so we've put it in B tier. We're now on to Thor Ragnarok, which is perhaps a desperately needed change in directors given how the other movies have fared. I guess we put one of them in A
Horribly
tier.
crippled vibe.
Well, Thor
But
1's good. It's just Thor 2 that's tragic.
yeah.
It's the director's.
Well,
second
so
try
I
that
think
really-
most-
Thor that really gets to them.
I think most people would place the first Thor movie lower than we have. So
I don't think so,
Most
man.
people are
People
wrong.
loved Thor 1.
whatever you say, Michael. All right.
The most people are wrong line that works better.
Yeah, that's what Christian always says. So Ragnarok, how we feeling about this one? I mean,
This movie kicks ass.
yeah,
This movie fucking rocks.
yeah, okay. So do you want it an S tier or A tier?
This movie
tier.
like single-handedly elevates opinion on Thor from like to like holy shit, that guy is so awesome, I love him.
Just
S tier.
some of the scenes too of like him interacting with Loki after everything they've been through, and then they're still behaving like they're actually brothers, was just such a good breath of fresh air after Thor 2.
Yeah.
Where like they had the one moment in Thor 2 on the spaceship where they acted like brothers, like squabbling, but like in Ragnarok, it is every time they are on screen together, they cannot get along. They truly feel like two siblings that have been through it all.
That's such a good point.
Yeah, I think for it also, to me, in combination with other movies that are not Thor movies, is a trilogy of like who he is, giving him more character development. Because I don't think this is like ending a trilogy. I think this is kicking off a new one, but it's more so in combination with like later movies.
Kicking off a new one so he can, they can kill it
Yeah.
as violently and terribly as possible. Anyways,
Black Panther.
Black Panther. So wait, what do you guys think about Black Panther? 'Cause I feel like I might have a minority opinion on Black Panther.
I've moved this one around quite a few times, and even now I'm still kind of like, I wouldn't put this. Basically, I'm between. I think I'm really leaning towards a B tier. Yeah, I don't know. I think this was such like a big event when it first came out for multiple reasons, and I think it was really interesting when it first came out. I really liked it, but like rewatching it. Yeah, I don't know, there's not like anything specific I can point to, but I do just want to put it lower than like what I remember thinking of this movie.
It's just fine. It's like
Yeah.
it's got like there's a lot of the plot is very generic. Like the villain's cool, like
Mhm.
whatever his name was.
Yeah,
Killmonger,
Killmonger
yeah.
is awesome.
He was
Yeah.
cool, and the actor guy who played him was like did a good job. Like he did a really good job. But like I don't know, the whole plot is just so like generic. It's like it feels like you could puzzle piece it together with parts of other movies and be like, yeah, I've made it. I've made Black Panther.
I think
Yeah.
I'm fine with B.
All
B
right.
is good, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
now we
it's
get.
the classic problem with the mid tier list where it's just like, yeah, there's not much to say. That's why it's in the middle.
Well, we're now to what we've really been building to for however many movies before this with Infinity War. I mean, to me,
It's
this
hard to
year.
rate Infinity War without Endgame.
So
I disagree wholeheartedly on that opinion.
I think that because we've talked a bit about, not on this podcast, but just in general, about like part 1 and part 2 movies, and that is how this was originally announced, was Infinity War Part 1 and Infinity War Part 2, and then later getting retitled to just Infinity War and Endgame. But to me, Infinity War and Endgame can stand as their own movies to look at, because there is a conclusion to like the events of Infinity War. It's not a happy ending, but there is. It's not a you necessarily immediately have to go see the next one. Whereas something like when the second Spider-Verse movie came out, that is one that is ending on like a
You see the
cliffhanger,
distinction you're
and
making here?
yeah.
The distinction you're making here is not between like a standalone part 1 versus a not standalone part 1. It's the difference between a good part 1 part 2 and a bad part 1 part 2. The Spider-Verse movies do it terribly. You shouldn't have to like watch the movie and feel emptiness because the story didn't fucking finish. But the thing about Infinity War and Endgame is Infinity War makes like the setup for Endgame and like the anticipation for that movie so much better. Like Endgame is so much more exciting because Infinity War like had like a not happy ending.
So I'm gonna flip the script here a little bit. I think the reason that they can stand alone is because one is good and the other is mid. I think
Which
one
one
of
do
the
you think is
movies
good?
is really good, and I think the other movie could have been really good, but ended up being kind of mid.
Wait, which one do you think is which?
Yeah, you got to say here. We're talking
Yeah,
about
you-
them.
I think
Drop the volume,
Infinity
Mike.
War is really good.
Oh, okay.
I think Endgame, which we'll get to in a little bit, is kind of
that
mid.
we're rating it now. We can't do this.
I think
We can't do this separately.
I feel like we're gonna talk too much about the two
They're
movies,
on
so
the
we're gonna
table.
we're gonna mess
That's
up
what
the
I'm
order a
saying.
little.
This is what I'm saying.
Well, because
Okay,
to
fine.
me, I can rate these separately, but I also really like
Well, I know
both
you
of
can rate
these.
these separately, Nick, but
I
you
can
want to
rate
rate
them
them
separately
together,
as
right?
well. I was trying to.
But then you immediately brought up the other one.
Because
Yeah.
you brought up the other one, Christian.
Well, you clearly couldn't resist hard enough.
Okay.
Anyway.
Infinity War, A.
That's crazy though. That you.
Infinity War is an A tier movie. It's my opinion
I
on
mean,
it.
I would disagree.
If you want to put it in A tier, I would
I
put
would
it in
also-
S.
I would also put Endgame as A tier.
I
Yeah,
disagree with that.
I think that Infinity War and
you
Endgame,
not
regardless
like
of where we're
them?
putting them, are in the same tier.
Yeah.
I disagree with
All
that.
right, Michael, you got
And here
it.
you are disagreeing that they can't be. They should
We're
be.
gonna skip ahead a little bit because I need to hear this opinion.
So
Yeah, no, dude,
my opinion on Endgame is it's a good movie. However, there are so many things about Endgame that they could have done better, that they just didn't do better. The whole time travel plot is such a cool idea, and then the only cool thing they did with it was go back to the time when both Hank and Howard were alive and at the Shield base. That was the only cool thing they did with the time traveling. And that's a significant portion of the movie that I'm just like, I don't really care about the rest of it.
You're fixated on the time travel.
Because that's like 3/4 of the movie.
I mean, that is the time heist is like the movie, and it's like time heist final battle. That is the movie.
I do not care about the Hulk interacting with the Sorcerer Supreme. I don't really care about Thor talking to his mother. I really don't care about Hawkeye and Black Widow going to the planet we've never been to before.
We went there in Infinity War. That's how they got the Soul Stone in the first place. That's how we as a viewer.
No, I meant the heroes. I meant the heroes had never been there.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, of course they haven't been there.
Well, I mean,
that's the problem. Is it who cares?
Well, one of them is gonna have to die, as we saw in Infinity War. That is like a very key part.
It's very dramatic.
I don't care. I don't care.
You just don't care about those characters.
Yeah, if one you don't care who dies.
Is my favorite.
Then you should care if one of them's gonna die.
I just don't care.
This is insane. All right, Christian, you and I are in agreement here, right?
I'm not listening to you about this take.
You can outvote me on this, but I think Endgame is a low B tier movie.
I think Endgame provided an excellent end to the MCU.
I will agree with that wholeheartedly. I think it did.
I came out of that movie
so much better.
I came out of that movie
so much better.
Unbelievably satisfied from the past however many years of watching Marvel movies, and I was like, okay, I can stop here. And that's what I really appreciate it for more than anything. I thought it was super cool. I thought all the action scenes were really hype, and I thought it was a good conclusion to the MCU. Unfortunately, we're like halfway through.
Yeah. Well, we're not even. We're gonna jump back now a little bit, but also Endgame is not the end of the Infinity Saga. But for now, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Am I the only one? Yeah, wait, have you already seen
it?
No, I'm pretty sure I saw this. Can you remind me of the movie?
So in this one, this is taking place after Civil War, so Scott is under house arrest as part of a deal he made, and Hank and Hope are on the run. Their whole lab shrinks, and they're trying to get Hope's mom, Janet, back from the quantum realm.
Is this the one where Hank turns his house into turn the lab into a keychain or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
That was
cool. For me, where did I put this one? I'm looking back at my list. I have this one as a C tier.
I was gonna say this is like a classic B tier for me. It's a solid movie. I remember enjoying it, and it was they have the cool shenanigans with the shrinking and growing again, but I don't know, it's not incredible. But you can't put it down there with. I guess you could put it down there with Ultron. But the way Michael's talking about Ultron, you can't put it down there with Ultron.
Yeah, I feel like Michael hates Ultron more than.
I feel Michael said Ultron gets too much hate, and then proceeded to hate on Ultron.
Because people talk about Ultron being worse than Thor: The Dark World, and I just don't think that's true.
I feel like Ultron's holding it back. Maybe we got to put Ultron down into D tier.
You did this.
I know, and I'm correcting it.
Yeah, if you want to move it down to D tier, we can move it, because I would do that with saying Ant-Man and the Wasp is that in C tier.
Yeah, I can put. I feel like Ant-Man and the Wasp goes all right with Iron Man too.
Okay, we will make this.
But I
swap.
also feel like it goes all right with Ultron, but Michael never let me live that down.
I mean, I would
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I would be fine having Ultron and Ant-Man and the Wasp in the same tier, in C tier, honestly.
All right, I'm good with that.
Okay.
I think there are movies we are coming to that are worse than Ultron, but better than Hulk and Thor. So
I think
okay.
That's true.
Well, we now go on to Captain Marvel.
I watched this movie, I think. Did you watch this movie, Michael?
I have a very strong opinion about this movie, actually.
All right, let's hear it.
I don't know that you're going to agree with.
No, what you got?
I really enjoyed this movie. I thought this was a great movie.
Who was the villain?
For me, as somebody who was disappointed with, Endgame, I think it's because I liked Captain Marvel, which came out right before Endgame, more.
It is really weird how Infinity War post-credits is calling Captain Marvel with the pager. Captain Marvel appears, you learn about her, and then she's technically in Endgame. Barely.
She's up for like a minute, right?
She
She's
appears
in, like, 10 minutes.
She's at the beginning when they go kill Thanos. Then she has one brief appearance where she's like calling in via hologram, giving an update, and then she shows up for the final fight. That is her screen time. For making such a big deal out of calling her and then, her having her own movie, she is surprisingly absent in Endgame.
I've got to be honest. I definitely watched this movie. The only thing I can remember about it is the lore behind what happened to Nick Fury's eye.
Yes.
That's the only thing I remember about this movie, which makes it feel like, it could be no higher than C tier for me.
That's crazy because it has probably my favorite plot twist in any of the Marvel movies.
I don't remember the plot at all.
Yeah, if he doesn't remember the plot, then
That's fair. That's fair. So the reason that I like this movie so much is because I like the idea that the whole time you are led to believe that the Kree are the good guys and they're fighting this war against the Skrull who are evil. And then it turns out actually the Kree are subjugating the Skrull and you should have been on the Skrull's side.
You're going to have to backtrack for me because I don't know who either of those two are.
The Kree are alien empire. They're traditionally very like warrior focused.
I need
then
the relevance of them described to me, not their.
Oh, they will not make another appearance. Yeah, the Kree is Ronin. He actually appears in Captain Marvel just 30 years before he's relevant again.
We thought he was bad and he was good. Or the other.
We thought he was good, and then it turned out he was bad.
Who's Ronan? Yeah.
No, Ronan. So Ronan is the villain of Guardians of the Galaxy.
Why did we think he was?
The reason that you think he could be good is because he's not behaving with the Kree in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's going against the Kree because the Kree signed a peace treaty and he doesn't want to uphold it. He wants to kill him anyways. So you think the Kree
Ronan
maybe aren't actually supervillains. They're just fighting a war.
Who was the other people?
The Skrulls, they are shapeshifters. Can look like anyone and retain like some of their recent memories when they shapeshift.
And they're not bad.
So this is a change from the comics. The little I know is that the Skrulls are villains in the comics. They are not villains here in the MCU.
The shapeshifters are villains.
So here they are just escaping Kree persecution, basically. The Kree have just been hunting them across the galaxy, trying to... More or less.
If he doesn't remember the movie, we gotta vote it like a B.
I mean, to me, I put this in B tier. So
it's fine. A non-memorable movie, it means it was not a good movie. That's the problem.
I think B is fine. I think it's better than Endgame, but I also put Endgame in B. So I think
I
B
can
is
live
fine.
with B as long as it's behind Black Panther.
okay. We've only occasionally been ordering these, by the way. We're gonna have to revisit the order
It's a pure ego order. It's all about ego for the order.
All right. Well, now we actually reach the end of the Infinity Saga. Serving as a sort of epilogue is Spider-Man: Far From Home, or at least that's how they kind of described it. It's meant to be an epilogue on why it's not Phase 4. And watching it, I can kind of see why. It deals... What?
The meme,
The meme?
Everywhere I go, I see his face.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that's in there, yeah. Yeah, that meme.
Come on, Nick.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it is kind of more immediately dealing with the consequences of Endgame and, the blip and all of that. Then we will see some other movies. So I can see it fitting into the Infinity Saga. I know some people might say it shouldn't be part of it. I don't know. To me, I really like the sequence where Mysterio is just the whole fake world sequence where eventually he gets hit by a train. Like, that's what it's all leading up to. That sequence is really good.
I like Mysterio a lot as a villain. He feels like a classic Spider-Man villain in this
Yeah.
movie.
Yes, I agree.
It is...
Where it's like smoke and mirrors, not necessarily a powerful guy, but
Yeah.
he's using trickery.
Yeah, the complaint here, again, is that in this case, he's been inspired by Tony Stark, having formerly worked for him. His backstory is he developed the technology shown in Iron Man... No, it's shown in Civil War, where... So Tony Stark, basically, he has like this whole therapy scene at the beginning where he's like reliving the last time he spoke to his parents, and then he like kind of makes fun of the technology by making the acronym be BARF. And that is Mysterio's backstory. He's the guy behind that technology, and he's been insulted. And so this is the complaint, is just, once again, it's a Spider-Man villain, but in this case, it's because of Tony, not just... You know, he's
I'm willing to let that
reasons.
pass simply because I did not pick that up when watching the movie.
Okay.
I'm beginning to think you just didn't watch these movies.
I watched a lot of these movies.
Regardless,
I haven't watched them last
plot
week.
to the last
It's been
one.
more than a week since I watched all the movies. I'm sorry. I was busy. I had to go to work.
I too work, apparently. But anyways, I'm still putting this in A tier. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
you know.
I agree.
A tier is good.
I agree. I think this is a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we are now past the Infinity Saga into... So I need to talk...
Bottom of the tier list.
I need to talk about
Yeah,
Phase
time to fill out
4.
a couple of those.
Before we talk about these movies, when Phase 4 kicks off, they're like, oh, we're not really setting up anything right now in terms of like overarching villain. Shang-Chi. Yeah. So they're kind of saying like we're doing just kind of a bit of a like independent thing. And that's something they've reiterated recently. Feige did an interview where he was just like, you know, it's good for them to go out and do things that are not necessarily going to tie in any way immediately, just for them to experiment, keep things fresh. The problem is they do, in Phase 4, actually introduce who was meant to be the villain just in a TV show. In Loki Season 1, you're introduced to one of many Kang variants, in this case, He Who Remains. We're not really going to talk too much more about the TV shows probably here, but regardless, at the beginning here, they're kind of trying to act like they're not setting anything up, even though they very much still are. But it does mean Phase 4 gives us... Well, so Black Widow... Let's talk about it.
Can we just talk about Black Widow? Because I think this is an easy one.
Black Widow.
Yeah, like what on earth do they set up in Black Widow, Nick?
So Black Widow is mainly meant to introduce you to Black Widow's replacement, our new Black Widow being Florence Pugh. That is
Alessi. He's also in there.
Yeah, Alexi is also in there, the Red Guardian. That is the main purpose, to introduce you to our new Black Widow and the Red
like
Guardian.
A different movie it was supposed to introduce her.
Well, yeah. So the whole thing is this takes place like immediately after Civil War. Like the events of Civil War are still happening while this movie is going on, and it doesn't come out. At this point, you know, Natasha Romanoff is dead. So it's really weird that it is focused on her, because she is still like the main character, but honestly, its purpose is mainly to set up other characters in terms of like what is its lasting impact.
What was the movie?
Should we just call a spade here? This is a D tier movie for sure.
Yeah, I'm fine putting it in D tier.
Any altering opinions? Christian's hemming and hawing.
I mean, I could put it in C. That's where I have it. I had a lot more fun rewatching this movie than I expected. I think
the movie's all right as like an action movie. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if you both feel that it should be in C, I just think this one is.
If we're doing the ordering, we can put it at the bottom of C.
Yeah, we can put it in D.
Yeah, you know, looking at the other Yeah.
the other.
What-
I'd rather watch the other C movies any day
Yeah.
other than the D movie.
Even Ultron, I would rather watch.
I'd rather watch Hulk than Black Widow.
You're the only
You
person
are the
that-
only.
Bro, you guys, you can't tell me that you don't have some enjoyment watching the two big monsters throw cars at each other.
Yeah, but
I
can
feel
get
like
that
there
from
are
other
better
movies in just
movies I could watch that do the same thing.
Unbelievable.
Well, we're now on to Shang-Chi.
What is this movie? I've
This-
never heard of this movie in my life.
That is shocking. So this movie,
I have heard
We-
of it, but I keep forgetting about it.
so basically the 10 Rings, which appeared all the way back in the first movie,
In the first what movie?
the
Iron
first
Man
MCU movie, Iron Man 1.
What? The 10
Yeah,
rings. What are
the
the
10
10
rings.
Also, we didn't really talk about this, and we probably should have. The villain in Iron Man 3 calls himself the Mandarin, but just isn't the Mandarin.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, the leader of the Ten Rings, who is he is the actual Mandarin, but he is not called the Mandarin. They are just a
Oh, this
terrorist
is like
organization.
the terrorist organization.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought there were like 10
Um,
rings that had some kind of special power.
Oh no, they are.
There is.
You're
In
fucking-
this case, they are not 10 rings, they are 10 bracelets. That's a change from
I
the
see.
comics because we just dealt with, having the Infinity Gauntlet. We don't need more hand accessories.
No, that's too hand
Yeah.
hand fetish people getting too excited.
Anyways, his son, Shang-Chi, basically. Oh God, how do you describe the plot of this movie?
So you're telling me this is Iron Man
Okay,
4
this is
without Iron
to appeal to you. This is the MCU doing a classic kung fu movie. How about that?
I don't think that appeals to me very well.
Okay, just putting characters in another genre is the
Yeah,
my
but the
appeal
problem is I
there.
don't know who Shang-Chi is.
So I think, in my opinion on this movie, is it's actually a good movie if it wasn't a Marvel movie. I think the very end scene ruins the movie. If it was just a kung fu movie without the fucking
What happens at the
mystical
end?
beast at the end, it would
Are
have
you
been a
talking?
kick-ass movie.
You don't like having the dragon around, or you
I
do?
like having the dragon. I don't like the villain thing.
Wait, you're gonna have to describe this to me.
It's like a anti-dragon. I don't know.
There's this weird like soul sucker thing. It steals souls and kills people, and it's bad if it makes it from this weird pocket dimension into our real world.
I thought this was a kung fu movie.
Yes.
And exactly. It was a kung fu movie until then.
Okay, I think I get what the picture you're painting for me. Yeah, that's curious. Where are you putting it though?
To me, this is worse than Ultron, but better than Black Widow.
So D tier behind Black Widow.
Wait, no.
For me, it's either C or D tier.
I heard it.
Nick, what do you think?
See, I don't think this is brought down by being a Marvel movie, so I actually had this in a B tier.
I mean, again, I really enjoy this movie right up until the end.
We can put it in C tier then.
Okay, we'll put it in C tier.
What's this one? I can't.
This
think
is
of that.
the Eternals. Yeah, this poster at this size is like impossible
shit,
to
wait,
read.
is that the movie you were telling me about? The one where like the
Yes.
half the plot of Captain America: Brave New World came from? But I didn't
So
know
it
that.
is
This was a
interesting.
movie?
Yes.
I thought this was a TV show. that
Nope.
we were
This
talking
this
about.
was a movie. This one did not do well critically or commercially. I think this was.
I actually didn't know this one existed.
Yeah. I have to put this movie pretty low. Probably. I don't want to put it in F tier. I'd probably put it in D tier, simply because it takes a long time for them to address the whole.
What's the movie about?
So basically, the Eternals are meant to go throughout the galaxy and help civilizations by fighting these things called deviants. The deviants basically are just things that will end life on any planet they inhabit. The Eternals just help out by providing technology advancement. They fight the deviants, obviously. And it turns out their true purpose is basically that they are sent by the celestial Arishem to make it so that populations reach a certain size, and that is giving energy to a new celestial to be born. But that also means that the planet is destroyed because a celestial is larger than a planet, or the size of a planet at least. So basically, the Eternals is about the population has finally reached the size. A celestial is about to be born. The Eternals, I forget how many of them are. There's a lot of them. It's a problem with this movie because they have to like introduce all of them and then still resolve a plot. But they kind of split on letting the Celestial awaken, their original mission, or stopping it because they've come to appreciate human life and what it means, having spent like hundreds, thousands of years among them. So at the end of this movie, the Celestial is being born. He is partially risen out of the water, and he is turned into whatever materials, one of them being adamantium, as will come back in Captain America.
Jon Snow's in this movie.
Jon Snow is in this movie. So many of the problems with this movie. First, post-credit scene is setting up Blade. You have, what's the actor's name who is meant to play Blade, but Blade will probably never actually happen. Anyways, he, just as a voice, appears in a post-credit scene with Jon Snow, who is meant to be... he is, as a comic character in this movie, meant to be like... I'm just going to call him the Black Knight. I don't know if that's his actual name. I feel something similar to that. He has this weird blade that's been passed down to him. It's probably never going to come back. That's really the issue with this movie is I don't think they're going to bring back any of this just because of how it performed. That's why I want to put
Except
it
for
in...
the implications.
Well, yeah, so it takes a long time. Like, it is only made in passing reference that, like, the Celestial has appeared, and they don't bring it back until, like, properly, until Captain America Brave New World, several movies later. Like, other than that, it's just like, and a being has appeared in the Indian Ocean in, like, the TV shows and our movies. Like, it's a, like, quick passing reference. The other thing is the...
D-tier, huh?
Yeah, do you want?
Like
it is a D tier. I can keep going. Oh wait, you've never seen it?
A movie that two of us haven't seen.
I thought you had also seen it, Michael, and you were just letting me ramble.
I'm so interested in what this movie could possibly be that they felt the need to bring it up in Captain America.
I don't think it's as bad as the other two. Like it has enjoyable moments, but because it will have so little.
Angelina Jolie too. Damn.
Yeah. Surprisingly, not one of the people who dies.
They got some big actors and then threw it all away, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. D tier.
All right.
Sure. I mean, I'd put it in F tier, but I haven't seen it.
I just can't put it down there. I don't feel it's as bad as those movies as much as I was just complaining about it.
I think the effects it has caused by not being seen by anybody is a more of a detriment than anything that happened in the movie.
Yeah. Well, we're now on to Spider-Man No Way Home, which is our first movie. This is the multiverse one. You have...
Oh, wait. No, this movie's great.
Yeah, no, this movie's great. Yeah.
I love this movie.
I really like how this movie... So it reframes... It reframes what we've seen so far of Spider-Man as Spider-Man's origin story for the MCU. By giving us the classic Uncle Ben moment, but instead it's Aunt May. And, it's just kind of resets things for Spider-Man. After he's been such a big part of like the wider MCU by having him be forgotten by everyone. I like the movie for other reasons, but I also like what it's setting up in the future.
I agree.
Amusingly, one of the things I liked the best about this movie was how they portrayed and brought back Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in the
Oh, yeah.
movie.
Yeah, and made him depressed.
Yeah, like some of the worst Spider-Man movies ever. I mean, there's not that many, but yeah, just the worst Spider-Man movies. And
You
then he
say
comes
there's not
back.
that many Spider-Man movies. There is 8.
Yeah.
God,
I know. I rewatched them all last year because they released them in theaters.
I guess you're right. But
That is.
the bad ones were his movies. And then he comes back and he's just such a funny character in this movie.
No, I think that after this came out, there was talks of like people wanted to see another Andrew Garfield-led Spider-Man movie, which, maybe going a little far just because it would probably still be purely a Sony production without Marvel involved, which was the problem and is the problem with any of the Sony Spider-Verse thing, not the like animated, whatever they call like their Spider-Man universe that doesn't have Spider-Man.
Competition for the worst movie ever created.
Yeah. Anyways,
I wish we could talk about those movies. I got a lot to say about them.
Next time.
next up.
We can
Sony
talk about all
versus
the
a mess.
non-Marvel Marvel movies next time.
Sony versus a mess.
Anyways, where do you want to put this one? Do you want it an S tier or A tier?
A tier still. It's
Hey,
good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I
Not-
think A tier is good.
Yeah, no, I have it in A tier.
It's not the Captain America tier.
It doesn't belong up there.
All right.
Put it in front of the second Spider-Man movie, though.
Okay. The occasionally ordering things
No, not that
continues.
part. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, we're good. What's next?
We're now on to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, or
Ooh, I
Doctor
did not see
Strange
this one.
Mom for short.
This is where I've basically not seen most of the movies.
I'm gonna come out swinging on this one because I feel like everyone told me this was gonna be a great movie, and I loved the first Doctor Strange. One of my top movies in the Marvel. We ranked it A.
Really?
And then I
Everybody
was
told me this
disappointed
movie
by
was
this.
trash.
I don't think it's bad. I was disappointed.
I do think this does not live up to expectations. In this, America Chavez can travel throughout the multiverse. She is running away from someone chasing her. She finds our universe's Doctor Strange, having encountered other Doctor Stranges before. And it turns out the person chasing her is the Scarlet Witch, Wanda.
Why is she chasing her?
So basically, if you didn't watch WandaVision, in her grief, she
So this one's pretty low on the tier list, huh?
Okay,
We
okay.
thinking
This
D
is the
tier?
movie
No, so-
that everyone jokes about being the reason you have homework when you watch Marvel movies. This
This
is the
is-
one that everybody was
D
like,
tier. But
This is
maybe
the
F?
problem
I
with
don't know.
shows coming into Phase 4 is that they very much tried to keep the connection too much. So, like, any of the Phase 4 shows basically required viewing.
homework.
Wait.
Yeah.
Do we care about? I assume we don't care about spoilers, right?
We don't care about
No,
that.
no.
Yeah. So why was she? Can you answer
So,
the question? Why
in-
was Scarlet Witch there?
In WandaVision, in her grief, she basically takes a town hostage and creates like her ideal life with Vision, who is dead, having had the stone ripped out. As part of this, she also has children. Basically, she is at the end of it, she gains.
Kids or something?
So that's what she's attempting to do in this movie. She creates children. So the Scarlet Witch in comics and here in the MCU is like all powerful. She can change reality to whatever she wants it to be, multiverse wide. Yeah.
She's
So-
basically the reality stone.
Yeah. So basically, she created children as part of her ideal life, and now she is trying to find a universe to go to where she can basically either take the children or take the place of their existing mom, who the other thing about the Scarlet Witch is she is, while it is not explained in the movies or anything, she's a Nexus being, which is to say she is the Scarlet Witch in every universe. She is the same in terms of like who she is. It's not like there's some universes where she doesn't have powers. She is always the Scarlet Witch. So
I'm not gonna ask why.
yeah, that's just comic things. Anyways, Basically, yeah, she's either trying to kidnap children or take the place of their mom, and she needs
like
America Chavez, who can travel the multiverse, to do it. She needs to absorb her powers so that she can travel the multiverse and do this.
Absorb wars.
Yeah, she has this thing called the Darkhold, which is it's the book from hell. It's a whole other thing.
What?
There's a lot going
There's
on
also
in this
two
movie.
Darkholds, so
Oh, there's a
it's very confusing.
Darkhold in like every universe.
Is this all like explained in this Doctor Strange movie?
No.
No. There's a lot going on.
Is it explained in the TV show?
No.
What the fuck? Or how are you supposed to know this?
We also don't know where she got the Darkhold.
No,
because
we do
don't
know.
really
No.
explain that super well.
Darkhold she gets
She
it
get
in
it
the
from the
TV
Darkhold?
show. She steals it
Yes,
from
but
Agatha.
Why was it in that town?
Who's Agatha?
Because Agatha has it.
Who's the fuck is Agatha?
Yeah, why was
Agatha is
in
another
the-
witch.
Explain that.
You don't need to explain why Agatha has it. Agatha has been alive for a long time and has the Darkhold, and that's
And
where
she
she
happened to be in this
all
town.
along, I get it.
Yeah.
She just happened to be in this town that Scarlet Witch.
So Agatha is trying to actually steal the Scarlet Witch's powers. That's Agatha's whole thing. Is she takes Witch's powers, and that's how she stays alive. That's a different TV show.
It is. What's it called?
Agatha all along.
What the fuck?
But my point is,
They're actually really
why
good
the
shows.
fuck is-
Despite the fact we're shitting on this movie, WandaVision and Agatha all along really good shows.
But why? My question though is, why is Agatha so stupid in this case, but then so smart about it in every other way? Why did she think she could steal the Scarlet Witch's powers? She walked into basically a nuclear bomb level magic event. All right, we're getting off topic here. It's just fucking stupid.
Anyways, this movie, where
So
are we
Scarlet
putting
Witch
it?
die at the end of the movie?
Debatably.
Sort of.
So we don't have to think about her after this?
They've left it open for her returning. She may or may not be
Probably don't
dead.
have to think about her after this.
Probably.
Alright, what are we thinking?
Yes.
C tier?
C tier.
C tier. I thought you just ragged on the movie for 20 minutes.
There's a lot of good
It's
parts of
It's
this
better
movie.
than Black Widow. It's better than Black Widow.
All right, I'll give it to you this time. I haven't seen it, but I am confused by it.
I mean, I think that's the problem with it. It's not a bad movie, but it is just like it makes no sense.
Well, so tying back to the first Doctor Strange, you have this idea that Mordo is a villain who's going to reappear, and you instead have a variant of him from another multiverse appear, and he does fight Doctor Strange, but it's not really resolving that conflict, and they don't
Wait,
really
I have a
address what
question.
happened to Mordo from the first,
I have a
or our
question.
universe. Yeah.
So if Scarlet Witch is trying to steal the multiverse hopping powers, how is she chasing the multiverse hopping girl?
Dream walking.
Yeah, she
What
can
is-
use
what the
that.
Well, then why does she
Don't
need
worry
to
about it.
Then why does she need to steal the powers?
Listen, we'd have to watch the whole movie by the time we explain everything.
Okay,
Christian, it is not worth your sanity.
Alright. So F tier next? For this next one?
I have this in D tier, but I'm honestly fine with F tier too. I don't
think
like
it's
this movie.
I think it's D tier. I think it's better than Dark World.
Do we? I mean, I haven't
I think
seen
I'd
it, so-
rather watch this than Dark World.
I've only seen a clip of that really weird scene. I forget what was
I just
happening.
think
What
is
scene
better
are
than
you
Dark
fa-
World.
Who was the villain of this movie? I mean, I didn't. see
The
it,
villain
so I don't
is
know.
Gore the God Butcher. Basically, has
Very
a
cool, but
sword.
he's ruined by the movie.
Yeah, it's not a good movie.
No, it isn't. Which is, I think, is why it's D tier. But like, if somebody wanted to watch this, I would not like punch them in the face.
Alright, I mean, I haven't seen it, so I can't say
I'll
too
put
much.
it in D
My-
tier for
My understanding
because-
was that this movie was truly awful.
It is, but it is not truly awful in the same way that Thor: The Dark World is.
I feel like Thor: The Dark World wasn't even that truly awful.
Thor: The Dark World was truly awful. Are you kidding me?
I think I'm gonna have to move this down to F tier. Actually, I feel like I
I'm okay
would
with
watch
it.
The Dark World before I would watch Love and Thunder. Honestly.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that. All right,
Uh,
fair enough.
Yeah.
And you'd watch Hulk before you watch either.
Absolutely not.
I don't know about that, but again, I don't know.
What's this next movie? I can't.
This is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. This is a movie
I didn't
that
see that movie,
is.
unfortunately.
It's
I've never
very.
seen it either. Did people like this?
I think okay, so I think actually it did very well in terms of like what the general populace thinks, and I think I would put it lower.
So
I think-
wherever you want to put it.
Yeah, no,
I've seen it.
You have? I thought you
Yeah.
just said you didn't.
I thought you
No,
just
I said I had. I just said I had.
No,
Okay.
you roll the clip. He just said he's never seen this one.
I need someone to come.
I'm
back
losing
to
my
the
mind. I
evidence
need
there.
lunch, and you're out here bamboozling me.
I'm not. I said I've
All right,
seen this.
so good parts of this movie. It's a great tribute to Chadwick Boseman.
True.
Yeah, and what he meant. That's a lot of like the beginning of this movie. I think because of his death, it also threw off their plans for this movie in some ways. And
This movie
they
does scream of the pains of losing your main actor.
yeah, it does fine, but I don't love the. For me, there's a C tier. Is what I'm
I
trying
was
to
gonna.
say.
I would never put it higher than C. That's for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
It's probably better than the Eternals.
Yeah. All right. We now get to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Ant-Man 2.
Ant-Man 3, excuse you.
I was helping you out, Michael.
So Christian and I have not seen this, correct?
Yeah, I haven't seen this movie.
Okay,
I
we're.
don't
I'm
know
gonna.
what happens in this movie.
It's that F tier.
Oh.
F tier.
Oh,
Okay.
what-
I've
what
heard
There-
it's
happens?
bad, I
no,
just don't
okay.
know how bad.
It might have some redeeming moments. You could maybe argue for D tier here, but the fact that Kang is no longer like the villain we're dealing with, a few other things, like this movie is of no consequence because of changes
but
that
is it a
happened
good
after.
movie?
No, I also just don't think it's actually a good movie. I would watch this again.
All right, F tier.
Sounds good, whatever.
Yeah. All right, Guardians of the Galaxy,
Guardians
Volume
3.
3.
Where do we put Guardians 2?
Where did we put Guardians 2?
Can anybody see? Has anybody found Guardians?
Oh,
2
it's
on our
B.
viewers
It's
yet?
B. It's
All
B
right,
tier.
this is above Guardians 2.
I was gonna put this in S tier. I think there's a fantastic conclusion to the Guardians trilogy.
So you're saying I need to go watch this still?
I don't think it's better than Guardians 1. I think it's an A tier.
What if I put it in S tier, but after Guardians?
Because I also don't think it belongs up there with other things like Thor Ragnarok. I mean, it's a really good movie, don't get me wrong.
I'm just gonna say I have not seen it, and I love Guardians of the Galaxy. I have heard people talk about this like it's the greatest movie of all time, and that usually is a dead giveaway that it's not better than the first one.
Yeah, exactly. It's really good. It's a really good movie, and it's a really good conclusion. And honestly, the character work they do in this movie is fantastic. But it's just it doesn't have the impact of and the quality of Guardians 1.
All right. Well, since both of you seem to be leaning towards A tier, I'll put it in there.
I thought you were about to put it in B tier. Well, you don't have to put it at the bottom of A tier.
Okay, well, I'm putting it at the top of A
above
tier.
it.
If we're gonna order, then I'm putting it at the top.
What's this next movie?
The Marvels.
What happened in that movie?
So we have Captain Marvel. We
Did you
have.
see it, Michael?
I have not seen this. No.
Well, this is just the point where only I've seen things.
Wait,
So we-
Well, I've seen the next 4.
Okay.
Nick, I'm feeling D tier because D tier is looking a little empty. Sell me on it not being D tier.
This is.
We've got to fill out the curve.
I think this is a fun. The interactions between, so we have Captain Marvel, Miss Marvel, and they never actually officially give her a name, but I'll call her Binary.
Hey, who's Miss Marvel? What's she
Miss
do?
Marvel is she is a teenager from New Jersey, so points down for New Jersey. But I'm literally driving to New Jersey in like a week or so. Anyways,
I'm from New Jersey.
I actually did not know that about you.
I was
That
born
is-
in New Jersey.
This is a really
2 miles north.
All right. Anyways,
There's no recovering from that.
Miss Marvel, she's a teenager. She is, I think he is Pakistani. She's Muslim. Her powers are she can turn light into like hard matter. So, she can create like platforms for her to walk on. She can, have like giant fists to punch with. She can create, shields. And then
Where are we ranking this movie, to be honest?
I really like the interactions between these characters. I think it's a fun movie. I do think there's some problems. For me, it's a B, though. I just think it's fun to see them interact.
I think we gotta go with that, right, Christian?
I put it in B tier.
I put it in C tier.
Nick, put it wherever you would like. You're the only one who's seen the movie.
I'll put it at the bottom of B tier.
They're right next to each other.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right, we
Okay,
now go
all right.
to Deadpool and Wolverine.
I'll hear your takes before I start demanding my opinion upon you.
I have some opinions.
I'm honestly considering. So I currently have this in B tier, but I would honestly consider maybe actually moving it
Fucking Christ.
down.
Down? Okay, down.
Yeah,
If you said
down,
up,
yeah.
I might have had to
No.
drive it.
I so it very much is leaning into obviously bringing God, what's his name? I can't remember right now. Back as Wolverine, like after we've already had Logan, which
Hugh
they do
Jackman?
address. Hugh Jackman, that's it. It was not coming to me at all.
How could you forget the guy himself?
I know.
We've been recording for far too long. We're all losing it.
My stomach is rumbling. Even I need lunch.
Oh my God. All right. Hugh Jackman, bringing him back. That is like very much fan service, and obviously in Deadpool manner, they like address
And that
it,
was
fourth
somehow
wall
the
breaking.
only redeeming quality of the movie.
I think it's nice a send off to like the other non MCU Marvel movies that didn't get to have that. Like Logan is such a triumph for Wolverine as a character, as a send off. This here is really a send off to everyone else. And that's
I got
about
the
it.
honest
That's about it.
This is one of the worst movies I've seen recently.
All right.
The plot was just nowhere. It was to the point where Deadpool himself was getting annoying.
Yeah, no, I think this movie has one purpose, and it is to send off these other Marvel properties, and that's it.
Yeah, and I don't get it doesn't earn any points for that from me. This is actually an F tier movie for me. I would not watch it again. I stopped watching it. I didn't finish it. I left.
I think it's a C or a D movie. I think that's a little harsh.
I think
It's enjoyable.
genuinely awful.
I think
It's
between all of
enjoyable.
us, it ends up in D tier.
I'm willing to put it in D only to make so D has almost comparable to F. Yeah, but that's literally it's just so that we can make the curve. It's not, not because I like this movie. This movie is genuinely terrible. It's one of the worst written movies I've seen recently.
Well,
The only thing I appreciated about it was watching Hugh Jackman act, because he's awesome and he's amazing. And maybe the only good actor in the movie that had substantial lines.
well, we'll continue on to.
Oh my God! We're on to a movie that I've seen this last week. I mean, I've seen part of it. I
You've
watched
seen
Yeah.
it
2/3 of it.
recently.
Yeah.
I watched 2/3 of it, and then the plane landed, so I couldn't watch anymore.
You didn't even get the end, which is the most important part of the movie.
Now that they walked up to the alien, and then the flight landed, and it cut the feed.
Oh my God, he missed the only important part of the movie, Nick.
I mean, I'm
I
going to be
did-
honest. I don't have a very high opinion of this movie, so.
I
Did it,
enjoyed it.
Wait, did it collapse in the end? Because I did have some enjoyment, other than the unnecessary confusion of linking it to other movies that no one's ever seen.
You've seen
I
Hulk.
I have seen Hulk, but no one else has.
It's me and Christian, and that's it.
It was weird that they linked it back to Hulk. They brought up this guy, and I'm having like flashbacks from 15 years ago, or however long that was, that of this guy getting Hulk blood dripped on his head and like his brain getting all weird. And I'm like, they brought that back? They did? Like, actually? Why? But other than that, I don't know. It was like a fun movie. I feel like it was trying too hard to pretend it was Captain America Winter Soldier.
Yeah, I would agree with
but
that.
Like, I don't know. It was still fun. I still like I kind of liked what they were going for. But
For me, this is a C tier. I'm not saying it's like the worst thing. It's a C tier.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'd put it C or B.
I'm willing to do C tier or B. Wait, Michael, do you wanna like hate on Nick and do B instead? I'm
no.
willing to do that if
No.
so it's C tier.
I think the problem with the movie for me is the best part of the movie was Senator Bucky.
Yeah, that was
like,
awesome.
If that's the best part of your movie, like that's not a good thing.
Oh wait, the Senator Bucky at the end? I'm confused.
He shows up like in the middle randomly.
He's in the middle, and he's in like the best line in the movie, in my opinion, which you missed, Christian, because it is at the end of the movie, is when Sam gets his ass handed to him by Red Hulk. And basically he's like, man, now I gotta go talk this shit out. And so Sam's up and he's like, damn, I really should have taken that super soldier serum. Should have never listened to Bucky. And I'm like, that's the best line in the whole movie.
See, part of my problem with the movie is when Bucky does appear and talks to Sam, it feels like they're rehashing events that if you've only been watching the movies, you did miss.
I must not have made it to the part where Bucky appeared. Because that would have elevated the movie for me.
Yeah. No,
you definitely did. If you got to the point when they were on the Eternal's head, you definitely
No,
saw
they didn't
Bucky.
make it to the Eternal's head. They made it to the boat in front of the Eternal.
Yeah, you definitely
Yeah,
saw Bucky.
yeah, Bucky appeared.
When did he show up?
He shows up when they're in the hospital.
Oh wait, no, that
No, wait,
happens
no, wait, that does happen after. No, never mind, yeah.
because that's how he gets hurt.
I just watched this movie like 2 weeks ago, and I'm misremembering. So yeah, no, I think part of my problem with this movie was just also that it feels like it's rehashing a bit of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which was all about.
Well, yes, because no one saw that, right?
Well, that's their fault.
Well, they should make a bad movie because they have to.
No, but it just
other people up.
Yeah, no, it felt unnecessary. Like they didn't need to rehash it. Because if you haven't seen it, then you're just like,
Having not
okay.
seen those movies, it was very necessary. Or not the TV show? Yes.
TV show, yeah.
TV show.
TV show.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it already, so it can't be a movie.
No.
True.
Yeah. All right, let's just move on to Thunderbolts. Asterisk.
This movie was awesome. I love
This movie goes so hard.
This movie is fantastic. It's just such a good story.
So we had a mystery lost episode that was right after this came out where we were talking about it, and my recording was all scuffed, so we never posted it. But this movie goes fucking hard.
I mean, it's also good because that is the episode where you were convincing us to watch it. So it was you trying not to spoil the movie, but also telling us we should watch it. So
It's so good.
It took me way too long to watch it, but it was actually incredible.
No, I think I saw this like probably the last weekend they were showing it in theaters. Like it was.
I tried to go see it a week too late.
Yeah. No, I really like this. I'd put it in A tier.
I'd put it in S.
I'd put it in S tier. I think this
yeah,
is
like-
like a return to form for Marvel.
It was like
Alright.
it was just a fantastic movie. Also, there was more Senator Bucky. Was he?
Yes,
Senator or
correct.
Congressman?
He's not a senator. He's a representative.
He's a
Yeah, but it's funnier to call him Senator Bucky.
But yeah,
Congressional Representative Bucky doesn't go as hard as Senator Bucky.
Senator Bucky was great. I also like the scene where he's like washing his arm in the dishwasher.
Yeah. And I also like I like how bored he is with the just events of the movie. Like none of it's interesting to him.
Yeah. No, it's a really good movie. Ooh.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
On to the reason we're doing this in the first place.
But the reason you're doing this, I've already gotten to the reason I'm doing it.
Yeah, so recording just a little bit after Fantastic Four First Steps has released the third
Both of you have seen
iteration.
this, right?
Yes.
Okay, I haven't seen this, just to
Yeah.
be clear.
This year is the third iteration in maybe just
Dude.
general in terms of movies. I don't know.
You said
think in
third,
general, yeah.
You said third, and I was like, third, really? And it's because I forgot about Fan Four Stick,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
which makes sense.
I've
So
never. Yeah, go ahead.
My general thoughts of this movie is, like I said earlier when we talked about Captain America: First Avenger, it is one of the very few movies in this long list we've been through that feels like a comic book movie. Like they just had that atmosphere the whole time. It gives you that kind of feeling of like this is almost like a time capsule to when the comics came out, and it's like perfect in so many ways for that regard. However, and I think this is not necessarily the movie itself's fault. I think it is the fault of the fact that we've done this before. The movie falls a little flat. It's really fun, it's good, but like I don't really care about Galactus because I've seen Galactus before, although this is a much more accurate representation of him. I don't really care about like the story because I know the Fantastic Four. We've had so much Fantastic Four, and it's no different. That being said, I still really enjoyed the movie. It's just that I wanted it to be something better than it was. It's my kind of take on it.
See, I really like this movie as someone who hasn't watched any of the other Fantastic Four iterations. So I'm coming in with it basically, other than knowing like who they are, their general powers, like that's all I'm coming into this movie with. I don't know anything else. I've seen the other ones. So for me, this was a really, really great movie for the reasons you mentioned, you know, that comic book. It feels like a comic book movie, you know. It is just really refreshing in the wider context of the MCU. There's nothing that feels like this to me. The retro-futuristic aesthetic. I mean, you know, he looks better with the beard.
Yeah. Beard?
He has a beard.
Yeah, you really need to see the movie, Christian.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
so for me, because it feels so different to like anything else we have in a good way. For me, this year is an S tier movie.
See, I can't get behind that. I think there's too many things about it that I wish they did differently. But I do think it's a good movie overall. I would put it somewhere between A and B. I don't think I look at what we have in S tier currently, you know, Captain America 3 times, Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, Ragnarok, and Thunderbolts, and all 6 of those movies are better than Fantastic Four. I also think there's several in the A tier that I think are better than the Fantastic Four, like the original Avengers, Doctor Strange. Like I think those are just better movies.
So here's the good news, Michael. Our A tier is a little too heavy to make our curve look nice. So, you know, we could if we put Fantastic Four in B tier, like high B tier, and then we move something else from A tier into B tier, then we got a much nicer curve. And if we
I don't think
E-tier,
Nick's gonna let me put Fantastic Four in B.
but
Yeah, it has to at least.
We're doing a majority vote, Michael, and I love the curve. I care about the curve a lot.
I can live with it in A tier. I mean, part of this might also just be recency bias because I just watched the movie twice recently.
Twice?
Well, you see, I had my own tickets,
You watched
and
it the first time?
yeah, so I watched it, and then I made plans with a friend to watch it. separately.
Dude, I have my phone flashlight.
Riveting story, Nick.
No, I mean, there's not much of a story. I saw it twice because of poor logistical planning. So
let's put it in A tier.
okay,
Let's put it in A tier. And just looking at the list, is there anything drastic we want changed?
I mean, other than Hulk to D tier.
No.
not putting Hulk in D
We
tier.
can't have F tier be more than D tier to make the curve, you know? It's all about
All
the
right,
curve.
then what are we bumping down to D tier instead? Because I'm not moving Hulk.
So
Hulk to
I've
D
got
tier, you
I've
can do
got
it.
Or we can move Thor:
Coward.
Love and Thunder up to D tier.
You said it was worse than Thor Dark World.
I have two opinions here that I
Okay,
think
what do you got?
we can kind of
I'm willing to negotiate.
look at. I think Age of Ultron goes down to D tier.
Okay.
Like, looking at the list of what we have in C tier, I would be happy, aside from Ant-Man and the Wasp, which I never saw, and Wakanda Forever, which I haven't seen, I would be happy to watch the movies in C tier, aside from Age of Ultron.
I don't know. I would just as well watch Brave New World as Ultron. Like, those are very comparable to me.
Okay. I can hear that. I liked Brave New World significantly more than you. So...
Maybe that's because you have the background information necessary to enjoy Brave New World.
I think the other thing that I'm looking at, and I think is incorrect, is I'm looking at our B tier movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Iron Man 3 belongs with that group.
You think it belongs above it? Or below it?
I think it belongs below that group, honestly.
I hard disagree with that. I mean, again, it's been years since I've seen Iron Man 3.
But those are my only two takes on the list. Otherwise, I think we did a good job.
Well, look, I'm happy with S tier. I'm happy with S tier. For sure. A tier, I'm also happy with. Other than the fact that it's bigger than B tier and defying the curve.
I mean, if I was going to bump something out of A tier, it would be the first Thor movie, but apparently you guys are, very big Thor fans.
And I think that is your worst opinion you've had today.
Damn.
I mean, I would only bump it down to B tier, I'm not saying it's C tier or anything. I would only
I
move
think
down one.
Thor 1 is significantly better than Iron Man 3.
I don't know
To
if
me,
I can get behind that opinion. But
yeah, to me, they're on the same level.
I'm willing to let things lie in the tier list the way they are.
All right.
I think the tier list is good. I think we've got a good order here.
My only real problem with the tier list is I think Deadpool and Wolverine and Hulk should be swapped.
I disagree.
I just can't agree with that. I would
How about
definitely.
just Deadpool and Wolverine down to F tier?
I disagree with that.
Yeah,
too.
I
don't
still
think it's
disagree with
that
that.
bad.
What did you like so much about that movie, Michael?
I'm not saying that I think it's a C tier movie because at some point I will probably watch it again.
I think I could go my whole life without watching that movie again, and I wouldn't even think about it. Well, whatever.
Well, I think we've settled on this list despite some disagreements.
Despite it not fitting to the curve.
Yeah, we're defying the curve here. Maybe
Well,
that
we're very
just
top-heavy.
means. Yeah, maybe that just means in general, we like the Marvel movies.
I haven't seen enough to say that.
Yeah. Any other closing thoughts here? How are you feeling? Have you looked at what's coming out? We have 3 more movies left.
I've definitely
that we
not
know
looked at
about.
What's coming out? What is coming out, Nick? Tell me. What's
So
coming up? What do
we
got?
have next is Spider-Man: Brand New Day coming out in
Yes, the Day
July
series, or the Brand
2026.
Day.
After that, we have Avengers:
The next movie's coming out
Doomsday.
next year.
Yeah, there's a
there's
over
two coming
year
out next
gap between Fantastic Four and Spider-Man: Brand New Day.
Jeez.
Then for Christmas we get Avengers: Doomsday, and then after that, sometime in summer 2027, we get Avengers: Secret Wars.
Eh?
Yeah, you don't know about Secret Wars?
I thought they weren't doing that.
No, they're still doing that. Kang Dynasty got changed to Doomsday. So
I see.
yeah,
It's very confusing. I don't think this is gonna go well for them, if I had to predict.
I don't know. People lost their mind at the end credit scenes of Fantastic Four. So
What happened at the end?
well, I suppose if you're
I don't care.
spoiler warning for anyone, because this is coming out shortly after Fantastic Four. Just skip ahead like 2 minutes. The end credits of Fantastic Four have Doctor Doom appear, and he is talking with Sue and Reed Richards' child, Franklin. Or not, he doesn't even say anything. He is just kind of there. We don't even see his face.
yeah,
We really just see...
he's just like awkwardly sitting over Franklin.
Yeah. It's just the first time we've had Doctor Doom appear now in the MCU.
He have a Thanos moment where you're just sitting in a chair?
No, not
No,
really.
he's kneeling, kind of.
He's kneeling, yeah. We don't even see his face.
The other thing too, yeah, you don't see his face. You don't hear him say anything. The other thing about it is like throughout the movie, there's like a bunch, like Fantastic Four. There's a bunch of scenes of like the World Council that's been put together, and you keep seeing an empty seat at Latveria, which is where Doctor Doom is from.
I see.
Yeah.
So like, very clearly, Latveria and Doctor Doom were not on board with saving the world for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
All right. Well, we will close out this episode then. Let us know over on Blue Sky. We are at Hot Takes Reviews on there what your opinions are on this tier list. And yeah, we will be back at some other point to talk about more things. In the meantime, check out the website, hottakesreviews.com, just for anything that we're watching, playing, reading, and writing about. So yeah, I'll catch you guys next time then.